Joe Wicks is here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Do people shout body coach at you or generally call you Joe?
They used to shout, "Oh, hey, lean in 15," back in the day.
Bish bash bosh.
In with a loose CB and all that, and all the midget trees and stuff I used to call the broccoli. But no, at the moment they just say Joe Wicks. So I hear kids saying, "Oh, look, that's the PE with Joe guy." If they see me at the farm or something.
Well, it feels like, timings-wise, a kid's book feels like an obvious thing for you to do. I couldn't quite believe that it's your first one.
Well, this is my first non-fiction children's book. I've done a couple of sort of picture books, but I'm trying to share the message around, obviously, movement, exercise, nutrition, mental health, and this is kind of the same thing I talk about, through social media and all my videos, but this is kind of in a nice format for young children, aged between sort of 6 and 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I call it a guide to a healthy body and mind, and we go through sort of the body system, so the skeletal system, all the muscles and the joints, and then we talk about food and how that affects our mood, and then there's some lovely quizzes and activities. So it's a lovely book for kids, and I think it's going to really help them. And
it does feel like a workbook. I mean, when I'm leafing through it, it's quite old school as a kind of, it feels like a school book. I mean, it's juicier on the outside, but the paper and everything, it's proper, you can get stuck in and write notes. And
yeah, there's some quizzes and there's some little activities and some workouts, but it's a lovely it's paperback, so it's obviously like black and white sort of thing on the inside, but it's something. I was so fascinated by the body as a kid. I really loved learning about what was going on inside my body, and I think it's important to talk about how certain things affect us, so exercise and food, and I talk about mindfulness, breathing, calming your nerves, and sort of dealing with feelings of stress and anxiety, because young kids feel these emotions, and it's sort of giving them the tools to navigate through that and self-regulate and sort of calm themselves down a little bit. Yeah,
which I think we as a generation are kind of learning to do that, but I think a lot of our parents maybe would not have been as aware of those emotions and regulating and how to kind of hold kids through those. But I mean, the stats are staggering around kind of mental health issues with young kids. So the fact that you're leaning towards that is also super important.
Yeah, I'm so passionate about getting kids thinking about movement and seeing the benefits, because as a young kid myself in quite a chaotic home life and mad upbringing, I needed exercise and sport. It was my release and my kind of therapy. So I visit schools, I do a lot of tours. I was up in Ireland and Northern Ireland a few months ago, and I'm constantly trying to share that message. So this is just another way it's a vehicle to share the message around movement and exercise, and hopefully inspire parents and kids to just get active, get away from the screens a little bit, be a little bit more human. And it could be playing in the garden, it could be running around or going out for a bike ride. It's not about structured PE fitness stuff. It's just any kind of movement, because we know that when we're sedentary and we're eating unhealthy food, it affects our mood, it affects our energy, and it can really lead to anxiety and depression, all these feelings in young people as well. So Fit to Healthy Happy is the title, and hopefully it will do that exact thing.
Because the thing is, here it says that 50% of children are not meeting the guidelines for 60 minutes of exercise a day. I mean, when I was a kid, I just don't remember exercise being a thing that you had to actively pursue, if you like, because by nature, we were always kind of outside and mucking around. But obviously with screens, we're, kids are sitting down and have to now be told how to move, really.
Yeah, I think, as technology's evolved and, entertainment and social media, which is so sticky and so addictive in their nature, that we have become more sedentary, less active, and it's hard. That's why I try and get into the young schools and the primary schools, because they need role models, and if the parents are disengaged and not really active themselves, it's very hard for children to go, I'm going to be active and start moving.
That's normal.
Like they need to see it, and so I really believe in role modelling is important, especially around movement and exercise and cooking and getting the kids involved. And I know it's not easy, I know it's stressful sometimes, but by bringing them into the kitchen or teach them how to cook a little recipe, or doing a family activity on the weekend where you just get a bit of fresh air and you go out in nature, you really do fundamentally impact them, and it has a massive impact on their desire to want to exercise themselves.
And I think it's also given them a bit of independence around cooking, isn't it? Rather than just slapping something on the table, you're getting them involved, and then they feel kind of quite proud and they've got a bit of ownership, and you're educating them along the way.
Yeah, it makes it fun, and it makes it more, they become more curious about food. So I'm not saying your kids are going to get in the kitchen and be making spaghetti bolognese every night.
Although they may.
They might do at a certain age, but making porridge or an omelette, or just putting your berries on top of your breakfast. These kind of small little steps just get kids a little bit more curious. And I am super passionate about that. I think it's so important to get them off to a good start.
So have you been to Glastonbury? I feel like you could do
I actually went for the first.
there?
Yeah, I went for the first time last year, and I did
play?
a workout on one of the stages. I'm going back this year to do it again.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So I was at Wellfest when you were there a number of years ago. Like I'd say 2 years ago, maybe. Honestly. It was people in leggings running from all directions as soon as they heard your voice, because obviously you've got quite a distinctive voice. They know you from the telly, from Instagram, and they literally it was mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's a great festival. I'm going back in May actually, but I love the Irish. They're so welcoming and warm, and they've always been they've always got my kind of humour, and they've just been so lovely. Whenever I go there, I have such a good time. So yeah, I'm going to be back there in May.
But it's kind of like the opposite of a zombie apocalypse in that they're just running with energy and wild-eyed enthusiasm towards you, getting ready for some exercise. That's quite a feat.
That's why I love bringing exercise to festivals, like music. Like you'd never think of a workout at Glastonbury, but I'm going to be there on the park stage in the morning, getting everyone gassed up for the whole day, and it's going to be wicked. So that's in the summertime.
I love that. Ava Lilly from Northamptonshire. I'm just making Joe Wicks strawberry pavlova. It's my favourite thing to make and eat. She's 10.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. So yes, one of my recipes from one of the cookbooks.
So Fitter, Healthier, Happier, for anyone who has just joined us, is a guide to a healthy body and mind. I was saying that there's a little exercise in here. Oh, sorry, this one I've also earmarked because I like a dog ear. There's plates. It's so super practical. For kids to understand what they should be eating in the levels and quantities that are reasonable rather than, just...
Yeah, some nice, it's been lovely illustrations in there. And I basically describe it on the back as an action-packed journey through the body and mind with plenty of tips, fab facts and inspiring activities. So there's quizzes, there's little activities, that sort of things you can build. It's really about what's going on in the human body, how can we boost our mood and our energy, and that's for exercise. And there's some lovely little mindful kind of activities as well, because I feel like kids they can build up sort of stress and anxiety in the body, and they can either internalise it and become withdrawn, or they can learn to release that through breathing or exercise. And for me, it was always movement. I had to do that, and so I hope this book inspires parents and kids to actually just get out more and be a little bit more human.
My 6-year-old is going through a moment where her expression of, I'm not sure whether it's frustration or anger, is released with
Sounds like a cat.
Kind of animalistic, and I'm trying not to react massively, but we were in Ireland last weekend, and one of her uncles said something and she literally went and I thought, actually, sometimes those kind of odd expressions are suppressed. We're told that's not okay, but the release, whether it's of
let it out. My kids scream at me. I always say, if you really want to have a good scream, go and scream into the pillow. But I've got these punch pads, so when I can see they're getting a bit worked up and they're stressed out, I get the little pads and gloves out and I do a bit of kickboxing with them, and they love it. And then you can really see it released from their body. And so rather than turn into tantrums and screaming and mirroring each other's behaviour, you can actually just do something fun and playful where you both have a good time and you both sort of feel like you're in a better mood at the end.
Sleep is another thing that you look at. I know it was National Sleep Week, isn't it, every week? What are your tips for great sleep?
Well, what sleep? I've got 3 kids.
Oh yeah, okay. So
I get sleep, but it's broken sleep. Yeah, I've got a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and you can guarantee at least one of them's waking up every night. The only real solution we found is we've got to get to bed early, because if I'm up till 11:30, 12, it's not going to happen.
Game over.
I've got to try and get in bed, 9:30. If I can be asleep by 10, I'm in for hopefully a good chance of getting a good night's sleep. But yeah, I think the routine's important. But you know what the biggest disruptor is, apart from kids?
That guy.
It's your smartphone. So get an old school alarm clock, leave the phone in another room or downstairs, because honestly, that phone and the social media, how just addictive it is. We doom scroll, right? And we stick to it for hours and hours, and that's what's disrupting our sleep the most.
Yeah, and it's the blue light as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've banished it to the kitchen, but sometimes I'll find myself sneaking down for a little...
One more hit, yeah. It's literally, Rosie's been away for the last few days, and when she's away, I can't regulate myself. I can't monitor it. I can't have it in moderation. So I had the phone in the bedroom, scrolling till 1 a.m. I'm not sleeping much because I literally can't put it down. It's weird. It's like my brain goes into overdrive, and I'll go Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, repeat, do the loop, and you end up watching these silly videos.
You don't even know where you are or what you're watching.
Yeah, get rid of the phone out the bedroom. That's going to have a massive impact. And same for your kids as well. iPads and phones out the bedroom, and then that's going to give them a chance to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Where do we stand on caffeine? Because I feel like as a dad of 3 small kids, jumping and leaping around, do you drink coffee?
No, I've got nothing against coffee. I sometimes I'll have an espresso if I'm tired.
That's it, sometimes.
But I'm not. So I don't rely on it too much because I feel like for me, like sleep and obviously the food I eat and the exercise is giving me energy. But no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with coffee. It's obviously if you're having like lattes with loads of sugar and syrup and gingerbread milk and all that, like, then obviously you're drinking a lot of calories. But there's nothing. I think a black coffee in the morning, if you need it, is going to give you a good bit of energy.
Okay, and sugar. So sorry, this is just basically a consultation joke, right? How do we feel about sugar? Because obviously there's a lot of chit chat now around sugar being the literal devil. Aside from smartphones, it's on the naughty step, isn't it?
Well, I love sugar. I'm not going to be someone who demonises it because I know there's a lot of people that are demonising everything, and it makes it unrealistic because like it's in a lot of things. It's obviously in treats and ultra processed foods. This is a new term, ultra processed food. What does that mean? And usually it's loads of added chemicals and sweeteners, additives, gums,
you don't
emulsifiers.
recognise a lot of the ingredients.
Yeah, and your body doesn't know what they are, and it's like loads of ingredients. So it's almost like it's edible substances, but it's not real food. So if you can reduce these things that we're talking about and just cook more at home, whole foods, with proteins and fats, your blood sugar levels stay a bit more stable.
Yeah.
You're not having that crash. But I can't help but eat ice cream and chocolate. It's like I'm not willing to give it up. So I think 80% of the time I'm eating healthy and I'm eating well, and then 20% I'd say is UPF and a bit of sugar. But I think it's about balance, isn't it? I mean, I could be leaner. I could probably be a little bit healthier, but you've got to live your life, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can still do them muscle ups. It's fine. Everything's fine. Also, just one more. Did you bring any of those dates that you made on your Instagram last night?
Oh, them dates are lethal. So basically, I get Medjool dates.
Oh, like they are like toffee. If you're trying to like flog a healthy treat to the kids.
Yeah, I mean, God knows how many calories I've got in them because I basically put chocolate. So open the date, take out the pip, and then you put the peanut butter or almond butter inside. Then you dip it in chocolate and put a few coconut sprinkles on it.
Yeah.
But you can't eat. You can't eat one of them. You end up eating 3 or 4 and they're so moreish.
Down the hatch. But they're whole foods, Joe,
exactly.
So it's fine. Fill your boots. Okay, fitter, healthier, happier. Oh, you're doing week-long exercise videos for kids.
Yeah, they're going live. So I film like a series of workouts. They're going to be going live on YouTube, and it's just basically a 10-minute workout with a quiz. So they're going to be on my YouTube channel, which is called The Body Coach TV, and you can see them. And I really hope you enjoy the book, and good luck with it.
Thank you so much. That starts on YouTube 18th of March. Good luck with the book, Joe. Thank you so much,
Angela. Have a lovely day.
You too.
Virgin Radio.